WBC World 7 Series in South Africa, who stuttered their way through yesterday. Intriguing contest first up.
South Africa have made all 7 finals this year. Bronze at the Olympics. And it's young Tom Lucas from Australia that gets us underway. Lovely high start. Gives the chasers a chance to get up and compete in the air. But first possession for du Preez. No advantage there for the South Africans, and they'll get the scrum. There is Andy Friend, outstanding coach from Canberra, took over from Geraint John. Spent some time with the Harlequins and also Suntory in Japan.
Balance, no delay.
I was speaking to Andy Friend yesterday, and he was ruling some of the injuries from Hong Kong. He'd be bitterly disappointed to lose Stannard and Jenkins again for this game. Just key influential players dropping out through injury.
Africa gets it back to Werner Kok. Now du Preez playing out on the right-hand side. Breaks the first tackle, can't get through the Australian captain. Dry to Africa, player of the year 2011 into the contact. Nice tackle from Ainsley. Australians good line speed and physical at the breakdown. Snyman to Soiswapi. Lovely step from Soiswapi, gets into the backfield, just the sweep and a beat. He's going to be too quick for the defence coming across. Magical start.
Blistering pace from this man, Soiswapi. His shot comes from some really clever play from Snyman. Running across the field, trying to drag the number 12 out of position. You see Anderson, eventually he bites. There's the hole. And Soiswapi's pace just takes him all the way through. Blistering speed and first blood to South Africa.
5 tries yesterday, 1 with the first touch. Branka du Preez, who passed 1,000 points in Hong Kong last week to join Cecil Africa, who's now scored over 1,200 points. Looks to add the extras.
So clever from Snyman again. It's that late cut, that late scissors. Stretches and pulls the Australian defence out of shape. When you've got a man with as much pace as this one, Soiswapi, brilliant start.
Well, the South Africans have dominated the opening 90 seconds, claiming the penalty, or the scrum rather, at the start. And then they've held on to the ball, but here can Australia with their first real opportunity. They use McNamara as a dummy runner. Ball gets passed back. Chris Dry picks it up. Werner Kok is there. Du Preez to Africa. Try time. That is scintillating from the Africans. The experienced players called on in this match. It was Dry, Werner Kok was there, and then du Preez to Africa. Good night, nurse.
Well, there, number 6 there, Porch, just really poor play. Throwing an aimless ball, to be honest. It's not even an offload. And South Africa will punish you if you do that. South Africa delighted. That is simple stuff for him. South Africa off to an incredible start.
South Africa started the season. There is Cecil Africa with players like Sebelo Senatla, Justin Hudot, Roscoe Speckman. They've all been injured. And without them, they have started bringing through this crop of players. And Soiswapi is one that has just made absolutely every post to win it.
When you've got a tackle completion rate like the one we just saw, 44% so far for Australia, that is woefully low. They've got to up their game and they're going to win this.
Well, that's why they're the best side. South Africa #1 on the series at the moment with 145 points, but this Australian side are young, are ambitious, and they have no fear. As Lucas goes in, Porch with the offload. They've got 4 players down that left-hand side, and one of them is Lockie Anderson, one of the quickest on the field. Hutchison has to go in and play secure as they get it out to McNamara. The pass is a hard pass. It was a bullet pass out to Tim Anstey. Really needed a lighter pass, or a softer pass rather. That was a bullet.
Flew at him things just not going Australia's way. Everything they're trying at the moment, not going to hand. We see there 3 errors. Contrast South Africa, watertight, 0. That's what it takes to be the best in the world at the moment.
Well, he's 19 years old, so you have to understand that he is going to learn from these experiences, being in the white-hot cauldron of a cup quarter-final against the world's best in South Africa. De Preer to South Africa. Werner Kok comes back to where the forwards were, breaks through the tackle and then offloads to Sage, who's been... Sage, dry. De Preer. The offload to Dry, who's been good in the opening 6 minutes of this game. Stolen, though, by McNamara, has done well. Has Liam McNamara all rights the ball, and the Australians want to get on with it. Numbers out to the left. They give it to their captain and Lucas. Lucas to Hutchison. Two of the more experienced players now, even though they're still very young, 20 and 22. Snyman looks to steal, can't. Porch gets it out to another good player in Anstey. Anstey carries Werner Kok with him. 7 short now. They looked one way, then they came back the other. The bounce is all important here for Kennywell. He's a great finisher, this young man. Kennywell's in for the first for Australia.
Well, that was the Australian side that we saw yesterday. Clinical in everything he did, direct, and in the end, South Africa just run out of numbers. They can't withstand the Australian onslaught and finish simply in the corner here.
Well, Sage thought that the pass was going to be to the runner that was in close. It went over his head, and Simon Kennewell helped himself to his 4th try here in Singapore. The conversion is stunning. 10-7, and once again showing the value of the conversion.
Hugely important, brings Australia now within a score. As the hooter goes at half-time, they will be buoyed by that. Restart to come, can they finish up in the lead?
You know, I spoke with Ed Jenkins a couple of days ago. He said this bunch of young men, average age around 22, they just have no fear, they're so fit. And Sage takes it. South Africa, what's their attitude is to score more points. Sage gets it back, Soiswapi knocks it off the foot, so it's play on. De Preer. As if the referee says it was a knock on, and we'll go to the break. 2 tries to 1, 3 points the difference in this, the second quarter-final of Singapore 2017, and South Africa lead 10-7 at the break. Good to pass 1,000 points in Tokyo 2015 gets us underway, and Henry Hutchison can't claim it, but that looked like it was knocked on. And that's not what Andy Friend would have wanted right from the kickoff. They would have wanted to secure possession. And Charlie Taylor, well, you can't blame him. The ball hadn't been taken cleanly, and South Africa have possession.
And not the start Andy Friend would have wanted. Possession given away to South Africa in their own half of the field. And I mentioned at half-time just how ruthless both teams are. When they visit your half, they score.
Africa feeds, gets it back, came out the same channel. Well, from this Australian team, only 2 of them were here 12 months ago. It just goes to show the wonderful job that Andy Friend is doing in bringing through these great athletes. Just Stannard and Porch with this Australian side. They're here in the quarterfinals. They only trail by 3. Plenty of time left in this match. As Werner Kok gets it and gets it out to Nel, who's come onto the field. Ruhan Nel back to Werner Kok. So strong. There's the South African who can play both in the forwards and back, and now Africa goes across, drops it back to where Chris Dry is. Look how quickly they get there to support the tackle player. It's been a real feature of Neil Powell's side of 2017 as Snyman gets rid of Taylor the first time, can't get rid of Anderson the second. Now, nice tackle from Malouf, right around the bootlaces, had to be made. Soiswapi gets outside Malouf and now passes it out to Dry. Chris Dry in, out, then the pass out to Soiswapi. 5 short. The Blitzbokker looking to score their 3rd. Africa, good lineup here. Now thought about throwing the ball, but then he saw a lot of yellow jerseys and decided to hold on to it. Now Taylor tries to steal it, no clear release. energy-zapping second half.
They spilt the ball from the kickoff, Willie. 2 minutes ago, they haven't touched it since Australia. South Africa just set up camp in their half, go back to the penalty moves. Just energy draining, defending all this time.
5 possessions Australia have given away to South Africa's 2. And the South Africans just playing keep ball as Africa to the line, to the captain, Snyman. Through goes Snyman! Strength, determination, and he is freakish. Philip Snyman scores his 48th.
It was only a matter of time. The South Africans were knocking on that Australian door. And when they need some inspiration, the captain steps up. Simple switch play. Andy Friend said at half-time to his Australian team, look out for the late cuts, those late drops. Switched off there, South Africa made them pay.
South Africa just conceding 3 tries yesterday. They are the best defensive team on the circuit. And if you're going to give them the ball for 4 minutes, you're going to find yourself behind the posts. On a couple of occasions, they extend their lead to 10 points now. And once again, the all-important restart. Hutchison on this occasion. Overcall comes from Anderson and he's taken into touch. Well, a little bit of inexperience there and a whole lot of experience shown from Chris Dry.
And that's an outstanding restart from South Africa. Manages to kick it high enough and just far enough to elude the lift there of Henry Hutchison. And Chris Dry straight in on the tackle, forcing the turnover. Brilliant. Australians had no ball this second half so far.
Dry balks forward, goes back, gets it, Snyman wraps around, and then Africa, who threw the ball and short ball. There to Werner Kok, and first time in the second half, Australia will get their hands on the ball.
And what a great line it was as well, Willie, from Werner Kok there. Comes straight, hard, Africa tees him up, just a blitz through the middle of the Australian defence. Just can't quite hold on to it.
4 tries in Hong Kong last week, one of the strongest players over the ball, and has made a couple of dream teams in 2017 as Werner Kok and Tom Lucas. They've still got time, Australia. 2 converted tries will get them in the lead as Hutchison, the Rookie of the Year last year, Beth Coulter Award winner in Hong Kong last week. Counter ruck from Dry. Sees Lucas get the ball. And now they step and go through the gap. Malouf, ball on the inside to his captain, Lucas. Has he got the pace? You bet he has.
Wow, Tom Lucas just injecting life back into this Australian offensive effort. It's a wonderful line break, superb support play. And you have to credit Soyuzwapi and Werner Kok chasing him down, forcing him out wide. Means the conversion's a hard one.
Well, this is going to be an interesting shot here. He can't get it, but just a try behind. And the lovely footwork from Malouf. He's such a good player as Nick Malouf. Tom Lucas, the 23-year-old captain, the youngest of brothers Matt and Ben, who both play for the Sevens and Wallabies, will be in Australia celebrating with what they've just seen, but now the all-important kick-off, and we're into the last 60 seconds of this quarter-final. Torch looks out left, big deep kick out right to Nell. That's basically giving the South Africans. Malouf will take Sage to the line. He's close, he's out. That's the reason they kick deep.
Ended up turning that decision into a phenomenal one. Outstanding defence. Driving him into touch. Brilliant work there from Malouf.
And they've got the ball to Australia. On the attack they come. Real opportunity for this young Australian side. That's been lost forward. This might be a yellow card. Double blast normally means just that. Sage is in the bin.
Oh, Willie, are we going to see an upset here? 30 seconds left. A try wins this for Australia if they can get under the poles.
Champagne finish, just a try, unconverted, will send it to extra time. The young green and gold have a real opportunity here. They need to be patient. McNamara through the gap, the offload, Anderson! Lockie Anderson scores, kick to come for the win.
Wow, look at the elation. They know the significance of that score. It is game over, the kick to come. Australia so nil possession in this second half, desperately trying to keep themselves in the game. What a response from them, and Anderson under the pole, superb support work, outstanding.
One of the great rookies of the 2017 season. That for the win. Australia are through. The South Africans won't be in a final, their first in 8 tournaments. Look at what it means to the Australians, and look at the sportsmanship from the beaten South Africans. This is the try that got them through to the semi-final.
It's just outstanding. This is all about effort on effort, support line running. Number 12, Anderson, the hero for Australia, sends them through to the semi-finals. What an upset.
What a game. Australia will progress through to the semi-final. They have beaten South Africa 19-17.
Okay, everyone in Australia, deep breathing.